Good morning, everyone, and today we're checking out a brand new video from Progmagic of giving more Pokemon more armor evolutions. Let's hop in and check out this seemingly continuing series.
Armor Evolution. One of my absolute favorite evolution methods from Digimon. So what if we took that same concept and applied it to some Unova Pokemon?
Then it would probably be like the last 4 videos we've done of this same idea.
Oh
See?
yeah. Well, let's do that again.
It's a series!
Why do you think I'm here?
Because we're friends and you like me so much?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Okay, cool. I figured as much. Anyway, let's kick this off with the Digi-Egg of Knowledge. In the past, I put a little too much focus on making the Knowledge Armor evolutions emulate Digimon. Knowledge Armors in Digimon don't so much have bugs and drills as a theme, but instead focus on turning things into bugs that weren't before. Except for Wormmon
Yeah.
here, which I was tempted just to use Durant and make a Pokemon version of Searchmon, though I thought a more interesting pick would be Gothita. So with the Digi-Egg of Knowledge,
okay.
Gothita Armor evolves to Mothita, the wise Pokemon, a psychic bug
Moth.
type, who I worked with Fungusmon on and who did the rest of the art for this video, so make sure to check them out, link in the description.
Check
the
them
bows
out!
of the Gothita line felt like a great way to introduce bug elements into this evolution, as they are visually similar to the wings of a moth or butterfly. And according to Gothita's dex entry, the bows are actually feelers filled with psychic power, much like the feelers many insects have. With Gothita already being the psychic type, it being the candidate for a knowledge armor felt like a natural fit. It is more simple in its design elements, which allowed us wiggle room when crafting an armor evolution, much like the 0-2 partner Digimon were.
Mothita being a humanoid transforming into a Lepidopteran is a slight nod to the infamous cryptid Mothman, and in combination with its category and coloration, refers to Wise Mothman from the video game Fallout 76. Mothita use their psychic power stored in their mighty wings
Never
to
played
identify objects invisible to the human eye. Their level of perception is only enhanced by their highly adapted eyes. From there, we move on to the Digi-Egg of Love, and I pitched a bit of an oddball pick for this one. Trubbish.
So you're saying
Wait,
that love
what?
is trash, Brandon? I realize that you're single, but that's cold even coming from you.
No, I just meant...
It's fine. Message received. I guess
Oh.
someone isn't getting a Valentine's Day present next year.
Wait, Whatever. The reason that I picked Trubbish is to refer to the idea of one man's trash is another man's treasure. Trubbish
that's
was
a good
and
one.
still is severely hated on in the Pokemon community, being what many cite as Game Freak running out of ideas.
That is kind of a wild take to have at this point, given we're
Yeah.
now 4 generations of Pokemon past that point.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and Trubbish is actually a
People are just not letting this bag of trash go.
super cute Pokemon and apparently a cat, so let's give it the Gatomon treatment.
When given the Digi-Egg of Love, Trubbish armor evolves into Detribus, the trash bird Pokemon, a poison flying type. Detribus' name comes from detritus, a synonym for trash, and ibis, which is the bird it is based on, the Australian white ibis, which are colloquially known as bin chickens due to their
Weirdly enough, I was seeing like Vulture.
habit of searching through trash cans to find food in major cities. Its trash basis, in combination with its flying type, also refers to air pollution. The fumes released from Detribus' wings as it flies are a point of contention in the Pokemon world. Some people despise the way it smells, while others love it.
Oh, like cilantro.
Or pineapple on pizza.
Or the ever-marching passage of time that comes to claim us all.
Hey, Brandon, this is not the time to get existential. Well, go put that in the existential corner. We'll deal with that later.
Yeah, no, for sure.
From there, we jump to the Digi-Egg of Friendship, which we elected to give to Axew. This pick was strictly because Axew has that kind of generic dragon look to him, like Vmon. Plus, we have a plan
Extremely.
for these little tusks it has. So with the Digi-Egg of Friendship, Axew armor evolves to Shoxu, the Blade Tusk Pokemon, an electric dragon type.
Yeah,
As
okay.
Brandon alluded to, the tusks of Axew were a perfect way to incorporate the lightning horn on the Digi-Egg or Digimental, and like Raidramon with this evolution, we made it quadrupedal, as a good amount of friendship armor
That's
evolutions already are.
Admittedly, this was more of a because it would be cool kind of armor evolution rather than any particular lore connection. Shoxu channel electricity through their tusks, which they
It's like, we need some law for this. No, screw the law. It's just because it's cool.
use to mark trees and boulders. Areas with these marks are said to be highly susceptible to lightning strikes. With electricity being a hallmark of friendship armors, we really wanted to play it up with this evolution. And if you want a friendship armor evolve into my friend, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment down below. And if you want to support the channel further, hit that join button. Becoming a member gives you benefits such as
support us,
early
people.
access to videos, a shout out at the end of my videos, And the Art Mage tier directly pays for one Fakemon design a month, which you receive a high quality image of and are credited for. So hit that join button and show your support. It really helps me pay the artists I work with to create videos just like these.
The Hope and Light Digi-Eggs are somewhat linked due to those crests being connected to TK and Kari in the anime. TK and Kari's crests were essential to saving the day in the original adventure, even triggering Warp Digivolution. And then in Zero 2, their Armor Digimon forms are a pretty intentional matching pair. So we chose Dino for the Hope armor and Larvesta for the Light armor. While there are Pokemon with more direct connections, these two are both hairy late-game Pokemon with evolutions at a very high level, and we ultimately thought they'd be the coolest candidates.
So first, using the Digi-Egg of Hope, Dino Armor evolves into Lephilathan, the disastrous Pokemon, an Ice Dragon type. Hope Armors usually have some theme of constellations, so for this one we went with the Draco constellation, which I realize is a repeat from our first video on Pokemon Armor Evolutions, but since Gen 5 was a soft reboot of the franchise, we can just let that one slide.
The Draco constellation has a few myths surrounding which dragon it's based on, one being a dragon named Aster or Asterius, that the Greek goddess Athena hurled into the sky and froze from the cold North Celestial Pole, hence its primary ice typing. Another is the monstrous, partly serpentine Titan, Typhon, which informed a lot of its design basis. With its curled fur meant to emulate the absolute mess of snakes that make up the lower half of Typhon's body, and its claws emulating heads but not quite literally being them like Hydreigon.
Lephilathan's name comes from Leviathan, another multi-headed serpentine dragon, and Viel, which in German means a lot. Since the original line's name counts the amount of heads it has in German, Lephilathan's design is inspired by creatures with a lot of heads.
Next, with the Digi-Egg of Light, Larvesta becomes Rafimoth, the celestial Pokemon, a fairy fire type. Light armor evolutions typically add in some more angelic or feathered elements. So this evolution brings in the inspiration of a seraphim, or what the internet now commonly refers to as a biblically accurate angel. This is represented in many of its design elements, with the crest of light looking like a giant eye, and other eye-like marks around its body and wings.
It is also represented in its name, coming from seraphim and moth, but also coming from Ra, the Egyptian sun god, tying it back to both Volcarona, who is partly inspired by Hathor, consort to Ra, and Nefertimon, Gatomon's Digi-Egg of Light evolution. We opted to replace its bug type with the fairy type due to it being such an angelic and celestial inspired Pokemon, and this wouldn't be the
at least you kept the fire type.
first time the bug type has been replaced upon evolution. Rafimoth used their celestial fire to burn away their opponents and their burdens along with them. They can also use this fire to heal their allies of status ailments.
Now on to the starter Pokemon. First up is the Grass starter Snivy, which we gave the Digi-Egg of Reliability, making its armor evolve into Longgrowth, the Grass Serpent Pokemon, a Grass Water type. Its name and design are a reference to the Chinese dragons known as Long or Lung, which many are water-based. Reliability armor evolutions typically have a theme of some kind of water transportation, so Longgrowth refers to junk.
Karn, we already talked about junk with the love armor, silly.
No, not that kind of junk. This kind of junk. A type of Chinese sailing ship.
Oh, that's
I
really
see.
nice.
Well, you can also see in
How do you spell that?
combination with its head, fins, legs, and the water typing that it is inspired by the Chinese water dragon.
Brandon, I already said it was inspired by Chinese water-based dragons.
Well, I guess turnabout is fair play. No, Karn, I mean these Chinese water dragons. A type of lizard hailing from, you guessed it, southern China. Longgrowth move just as swiftly in water as they do on land. The large sails on their head and tail absorb sunlight, so they will often keep them above the surface of the water while swimming. From there, we move on to our fire starter, Tepig, which when given the Digi-Egg of Sincerity, armor evolves into...
So wait, that means Oshawott gets the Digi-Egg of Courage.
Frostborg, the rich pig Pokemon, a grass fire type. Sincerity armor evolutions usually have some kind of Japanese culture influencing their design. So Frostborg draws from two Japanese-related things. One is Daikokuten, a god of fortune, wealth, prosperity, fertility, and agriculture. And he is a member of the 7 lucky gods of Japanese mythology.
The other inspiration is the Japanese boar, which are seen as symbols of fertility and prosperity in their own right. Frostborg use their grass and fire-type moves in combination to optimize the life cycle of trees and crops alike, burning away the old and helping usher in the new.
That's actually really
Last but not least, we have our water starter Oshawott and our last Digi-Egg, Courage. So when combined, they make the armor evolution Dynamot, the explosive Pokemon, a
Ooh.
water fire type.
Wait, does this thing have a gun? Did they just straight up give Oshawott a gun?
Courage Armor's main theme being fire, we went with
Who gave
more of the
Oshawott a gun?
explosive approach. The weapon Dynamot is wielding is inspired by the French shoulder cannon, the Bâton au Feu, as well as the soldiers that would typically use this kind of weapon. As you may have picked up on by now with the design being French, Prospork being Japan-inspired and Longgrowth being Chinese-inspired, we switched around the themes of the original evolutions from Unova.
Dynamot also shifts its otter inspiration to another mustelid, the Wolverine, with the Wolverine being more of a fierce predator, often taking on prey much larger than itself. Which sounds courageous to me, and I figured that it would fit in line with some of the Courage Armors who for the most part
So
look
it's a
pretty
highly
fierce.
reckless.
And those are some armor evolutions for Unovan Pokemon. Make sure to go over and check out Karn's channel for some fantastic Digimon content. Thanks so much to our fantastic members whose names you can see on screen for supporting this channel with their hard-earned money, which you can...
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.